Hello, everybody. Today you have a few things to do in my absence that will be due tomorrow. At any time, if I'm moving too fast, you may pause this video or rewind this video or fast forward this video if you're ready to move on. First thing you're going to do is your warm up, as we do all the time. In your biology fourth quarter folder, you're going to click on warm up numbers if you don't know what warm up you're doing today. You're going to click on the week of May 8th through to May 12th. And once you click on that, you should see your class. You may have to let it load for a second. You should see your class and your warm-up numbers. If the warm-up number is incorrect or if you've already completed the warm-up, make sure you move one warm-up to the right to complete a new warm-up. After you have completed your warm-up, you're going to go on Canvas. You're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom until you see 1.1.2. Prokaryotic versus eukaryotic cells. You're going to complete all 4 of these assignments, and there should be a green check beside it to let you know that you have completed that. Once you have completed your warm-up and your remediation, we're going to start with our notes for today. Back in your biology fourth quarter folder, if you click on Unit 7 Evolution and Unit 7 PowerPoints, you're going to get to the PowerPoints that we've been learning from. You're going to start on slide 75, and you're going to watch a video. This video is going to talk about the mechanisms of evolution. So we talked about the evidence of evolution. So what do we have to prove that evolution has occurred? Now we're going to talk about the mechanism of evolution, basically saying how does things change over time, or why does things change over time? You're going to start at the bottom of page 158. With this video, you will be answering the questions. You may play this video inside of this PowerPoint, or you may go onto YouTube to play it. After you've answered the questions on the bottom of page 158 by watching this video, you're going to go to page 162. We are skipping 159, 160, and 161. So you're going to start on page 162 with mechanisms of evolution. So we're trying to learn why do things evolve, or how do things evolve. We're going to start off with going over the theory of natural selection. We know that animals naturally produce more individuals than can survive. These individuals will come with variations. They're going to look different because of mutations. Some individuals are selected out of the environment. Some individuals will be able to survive longer and reproduce more. And these are called adaptations. Adaptations are the traits of individuals that survive and reproduce and become more common in a population. So adaptations are those good mutations that helps animals to survive. And this is all a review of our theory of evolution on page 151. So we know that we have genetic mutations. That is why every single organism looks different. Mutations are random because they're just a mistake in your DNA. Instead of your DNA saying AAA, it can possibly say AAT, and that's going to make you look different. Remember, mutations aren't good, bad, or neutral. Some are good, some are bad, and some have no effect on you at all. Not all mutations are bad. In this case, we have the bear. We have what we call a polar bear and a brown bear. Let's say this brown bear had a mutation in his DNA to make him appear brown. Well, this is going to be a negative effect on him. Now, in this Arctic environment, when he's trying to blend in or hunt, he's going to easily be seen. What's going to happen over time is that the brown bear, since he can easily be seen, he's not going to be able to get the food that he needs, whereas the polar bear is able to camouflage and eat. Over time, we know that this brown bear will either have to find another environment or will die out, and the polar bear will continue to populate, and there will be a lot of discolored polar bear in one area. That's natural selection, survival of the fittest. Whoever this is the most fit for that environment will survive and reproduce. Remember that fit doesn't necessarily mean you have to be the strongest or run the fastest. You just have to have a characteristic or adaptation that is good for that environment. Because if we flip the situation, if we were in a different environment, the brown bear may be the most fit, where the polar bear would die out. This is the same thing that happens with bugs. Let's say, for example, we know the variation causes these bugs to have two different colors. And let's say if these birds decided that the green beetles were their favorite, then all the beetles who are green will be eaten, and the orange beetles will stay and reproduce and be able to survive. And natural selection has selected the green beetles out of the population, orange beetles to stay. This is natural selection because this is something that nature is selecting. Same thing that happened to bacteria. Some mutations in bacteria will make a bacteria extremely resistant, meaning that whatever medicine you're taking, it's going to be really, really hard to kill this bacteria off. Some bacteria are just mildly resistant, and some are least resistant, meaning that you take the medicine, the bacteria die off, you're good to go. This happens with hand sanitizer. So we all have bacteria on our hands. We use hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer is only 99% effective. There are some bacteria on your hand that has a mutation, and that mutation makes them resistant to hand sanitizer, meaning that when you use hand sanitizer, all other bacteria may die out, but the bacteria that's extremely resistant is still going to be there. It's going to multiply, and no matter how often you use hand sanitizer, you will never be able to kill that bacteria, which is why hand sanitizer should never be a substitute for washing your hands. Let's start with the mechanism again. Why do things evolve? So, first of all, the changes in your gene pool, or the types of genes or DNA. So, changes in the gene pool cause evolution. Because animals' DNA has changed, that means the animals will change over time. We know that a mutation is going to cause the change to a gene. And it's important to remember that your mutation has to happen in your gametes in order for the mutation to be passed on. So if your mutation does not happen in your egg and sperm cells, then your mutation won't be passed on to your kids. We automatically know that variation is when you have differences in your population. It makes us tall and short, it makes us light and dark, it makes our hair red and brown. The variation is the reason that natural selection works. Because we look different, we need the fittest organism to survive in that environment. There are a few reasons as to why evolution has occurred. We're going to start with something called speciation. We see the word species in there. So we're making a new species. Speciation occurs when small populations split up. For example, we know that variation is going to cause for all of these birds to look different. Now, these birds are going to hunt insects. Let's say down here. These birds are hunting insects and they live right here. Well, here we have trees. And in these trees we have holes, and the birds must stick their beak inside the hole to get the insect. Now, naturally, this bird will have the best advantage because his beak can fit in the holes to reach the insects. And then this bird right here will have to die off